Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all children? I'm here to continue with the topic on Qiyas today. If you remember in my last session, I discussed what is Qiyas, then the four-step method, how Quran justify the use of Qiyas, and how Hadith justify the use of Qiyas. So we discussed the whole concept of Qiyas, that basically Qiyas is the analogical deduction. And today I'm going to discuss one of the past paper question which came recently in the May-June 2024 exam in order to help you how to attempt a 10-mark question. So the screen is in front of you and see what the question is demanding. It is saying describe analogy chaos. So the first step, always read the question very carefully. Okay, it is saying describe analogy chaos, and the next part of the question is saying how it is used in making of Islamic law. Then the question is saying give one example to support your answer. Now I will be explaining you with the help of the mark scheme that is given by the Cambridge, that what are their requirement and how we should be elaborating. Now, before I go into the mark scheme, let me tell you that the mark scheme give us the outline. It does not give us the complete knowledge. It is not the complete answer. Remember this thing. Some student um, do not understand that how to use the mark scheme. They start memorizing the mark scheme, which is not the correct way of preparing your exam. So you will study from 2 or 3 books together about Qiyas, and that is the reason first I have given you all the explanation of the Qiyas so that you are well equipped with the knowledge and understanding of the Qiyas. Okay. So now when it says describe analogy Qiyas, so we will give the definition that Qiyas is the analogical deduction of the matter under consideration. It is deduced by comparing the unknown with the known, and then how Quran justify the use of Qiyas, how Hadith justifies the use of Qiyas. Then the next part of question is saying how it is used. When the word how, this is the key word that we must understand. Word how is asking us to describe the method, to explain, and of course we cannot describe the method without connecting it with an example. Furthermore, it is saying give one example to support your answer. Now let me go through the mark scheme. Answer may include some of the following ideas, but all valid material must be credited. So Cambridge is giving us a basic outline, but if the student is having a different way of expressing chaos, it will be credited. So don't feel that if these words are given by Cambridge, they are very rigid on it and they will not accept your answer. No, they do entertain, they do encourage your own broader reading, but it should be limited to the requirement of the question. Now see, it is saying analogical reasoning or qiyas is the fourth source of Islamic lawmaking. So for we are describing it, okay? Its authority is supported indirectly by Quran and specifically by the Hadith. Now, qiyas means comparing one thing with another that is similar to it. And in Sharia, it is the legal method to apply laws out in Quran and Hadith as well as ijma to new issues based on common sense and reasoning. Now here you can also give the condition that it is used only when Quran is silent, Hadith does not provide any clear explanation, and ijma of the community does not agree. So let's move to the second part of the question. It says candidates could give examples from Quran and Sunnah to support the use of qiyas and may quote. It is saying that the students may quote give me a second. Students may quote the conversation between the Prophet ﷺ and Maaz ibn Jabal to develop their answer. Now, those who have seen my last video, I have already given the conversation that took place between Maaz bin Jabal and Holy Prophet ﷺ when he was sent to Yemen as a governor. So you will write that example. Then they are expecting you to write the three elements used in the practice of Qiyas: Asal, Far, Ila. I'm not going into the detail of it because I've already explained you in my last session. By relating these together, it is possible to arrive at a new judgment, the hukum. This can be done by showing how a decision is arrived at using qiyas based upon the law from the previous three sources. Now, the example is coming in the last line. The Prophet ﷺ said, every intoxicant is khamar and every intoxicant is forbidden. This also I have given in my last session. And I have explained you with the example that how we will show the connection between the four-step method. Now, the asal is the hadith that prohibits khamar. Far is the use of intoxicant other than khamar. Use of intoxicant other than khamar, by this we mean that are drugs accepted in Islam? So that is the far. Now, ila, what the examiner will do? Sorry, not the examiner, the scholar who is going to compare known with the unknown, he will see that are the effects of the present intoxicant, whether they are in the form of drugs, are they having the same effects as khamar. So the hukum will be derived. So after explaining the whole method, we will write, therefore the use of every substance that cause intoxication is banned in Islam. It is important that the asal must always be from Quran or Hadith. So when you are writing your answer, since this mark scheme, they are the guideline for the teachers. So they are guiding the teachers that they will check that the example the student has written, it must be from Quran or Hadith. Now, an example of qiyas that could be given might be the Quran forbids all sorts of trading after the call to prayer on Friday till the completion of the Friday prayer. Here, what was the Quranic quote? Let's recall it. It was about that when the call for Salat Jummah is called out, then hasten to the remembrance of Allah and leave aside all business. So then we will make a four-step connection with it. Now they are saying that this is a three-part answer in which candidate need to say. Now how it is three-part? In the first paragraph, the examiner is expecting whether you make it in paragraph or you write it in a continuous prose, it does not make a big difference, but so far you are including all these three areas in description. The first is what qiyas is. Second is show the process of lawmaking in Islam by using qiyas. So we will show how it is applied in lawmaking. Of course, the examiner is expecting that we will be applying the four-step method using either Quran or Hadith. And then one specific example, give an example of qiyas to get higher marks. To get to a level 4, all three aspects of the answer need to be covered. If only two are covered, and well at that the answer could get to a level 3-7. That means level 3, I told you in my first teaching session what are the different levels. So you can go through it if you have not seen the first teaching session where I have given the introduction. Okay, coming to the B part question. The question which came this year was, give reasons why some Muslims might be reluctant to use analogy qiyas to solve present day issues. So be very attentive. Now I am explaining you B part. Okay, B part, the examiner is not looking for your knowledge. Make it very, very clear. The examiner is not looking for your knowledge. He or she is looking for your understanding of this question. Now the question is why. Why means you will explain by giving a reason that why some Muslims might be reluctant. Reluctant, by the word reluctant, we means they are not satisfied by using the fourth source of Islamic law, analogy. Now we can give different reasons. Whatever reason you will give, you will develop that reason. For example, if you are giving the reason that it involves a lot of individual opinion, and that when it is individual opinion, that means the consensus of the whole Muslim community is not involved as you compare it with ijma. So the unanimous agreement is not there. And when then it is individual opinion, so individual opinion could be biased, it could lead to disagreement of some of the Muslims, and it could create disunity in the Muslim Ummah. So, what the examiner has given in the first point, candidates could say that some Muslim might feel reluctant with the use of Qiyas in solving present day issues. Now, present day issues, let's take the example of any of the present day issue. It could be like if you connect with the, let me take a popular one like about the usage of drugs. So this is a present day problem. Some say that vape is not as intoxicating. Vape is one of the drug, so it is allowed. One of the scholar might say this and another scholar is very much rigid about it, and he says that no, it is forbidden in Islam. So since it is Qiyas, of course the effects are intoxicating, but one might think that yes, the effects are not as intoxicating as khamar, and the other is saying that since it is an intoxicant, so it is not allowed. So it might create differences in opinion. So chaos in solving present issue because an element of personal judgment come into it, which they feel may not be reliable. So some of the Muslims do not feel satisfaction with the use of gas. So what I mean to say that if you have given the reason that it involves a lot of personal opinion, you will develop that reason. Don't just write in one line that because it involves a lot of personal opinion. Okay, if it is personal opinion, describe it, develop it, and remember one more thing, that the length of part B answer is not more than 8 to 10 lines, and it should not cover any kind of knowledge. No description should be there. It should only be your reasoning, and reasoning should be well developed. So the first reason that we have developed right now. Second reason, it could be that Qiyas had very little support from Quranic revelation. Now, when we say this, obviously we know that if the answer is given in Quran, we could not be using the fourth source of Islamic law. Since there are matters which are hidden in Quran, for that we need to explore and find out the analogy. We need to compare it with some of the verses. So it's a bit difficult task for the mujtahid, for the jurist to deduce the solution. So very little support is from Quran. Thirdly, the Shia Muslim, they do not accept Qiyas as the fourth source of Islamic law, and they have their own law known as Akal or reasoning, and that law is derived from the teachings of their 12 Imams. So here it leads to difference in the sect, and such a difference in opinion results in disunity in the Muslim Ummah. So I hope now you know how to develop the B part question, right? So this is one way of attempting this. Now I'm moving to another B part question. You can note down this question. It will help you because since it is related to Qiyas, so I thought I must do this part also with you. The question is, by using the principle of analogy Qiyas, the basic laws of Islam can be applied at any time and in any case. Now, do you agree? Cambridge sometimes framed the question in such a way that you have to give your agreement or disagreement. Now again, it's a reminder for many students who very quickly say, yes, I agree. But saying yes will not be sufficient enough for answering the question. You have to give your own reason. You should mentally prepare in your mind that what should be the different reason, that how it can be applied at any time and in any case. Okay, so this is just a sample answer to guide you, to help you. You can write your own answer. Looking at it, it will give you and open more ideas in your mind as to how we can use Qiyas. Okay, so I've written this to ease out your question solving ability. Like, yes, I agree with this statement as Qiyas by comparing the unknown with the known gives flexibility to the religion Islam. It is not making Islam a very rigid religion that if there is no solution given either in Quran, Sunnah, or Ijma. So we are left now that no, we do not have any solution. Now, what can we do? We will be following all the other religion, or we are doing as we wish to do. No, we have got the solution because we can deduce the chaos only by comparing the unknown that is our upcoming problem with the known which is given in Quran and Sunnah. And of course, a common man cannot do it. A religious scholar has to be proficient in the usage of Quran and Hadith, and he should have the knowledge of the current issues and the current sciences. Okay, so one way, when an issue which is not mentioned in the Quran nor clearly explained in Hadith, and even the ijma of the community does not agree, here Qiyas help the believers by making it a religion for all times to come. For example, the issue on the usage of drugs like cocaine, iced, heroin, I've given different names, you can write yourself, and their legal acceptance in Islam is deduced by comparing it with the hadith of Prophet ﷺ, which says all intoxicants are khamar and khamar is forbidden in Islam. While comparing it with today's drugs, it was found that both are intoxicating, so modern drugs are forbidden in Islam. This is how Qiyas gives now we will evaluate our answer. Once we have given the reason, then we are going to evaluate our answer. Okay, so this is how Qiyas gives a broader spectrum to Islam. Similarly, you can talk about other aspects which are upcoming these days. There are many new problems coming up, like you can talk about donating your body parts to others, or it can be usage of phone, usage of the different apps while you are using your in the toilet. Can you use the Quranic apps? Or there are many 101 problems which are coming up these days. So when you compare it, of course, you need to be proficient, and if you cannot do it, you can refer to one of the scholar who is expert in his field to deduce the answer, because this is how Qiyas helps in making our religion for all times to come. So with this question, I am ending the session. See you inshallah next time. Allah Hafiz. Have a good time.